how we've responded so far, but obviously a lot of work to do in a lot of different areas, not just this year, but going forward to make sure that we maintain a team in this division, which I feel very confident that we will. And, like Jeff said, continue to try to get better, stronger. Being a D1 team, I think it helps quite a bit with the recruiting process because you are dangling that carrot of being a national bound team, going to play against the top pure schools in this division across the nation, let alone playing games in Southern California or throughout California now against the top pure schools. It's whether you go up and you play against a seasoned program like Santa Margarita or J. Sarah, or you're playing against one of the newer programs like Edison that are in the D1 division. You're playing against a pure school where everybody is going to that school. Everyone's making the grades to be there, and it's just it's much more structured in my opinion, and it makes it easier to recruit. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on the player process. You've offered an opportunity for players to just play at Damien. You also have players that play both club and Damien, and how that dynamic works. I mean, I feel your pain in that because I've gone through that situation. But from what I can see and what you've done is whoever shows up, that's who you're putting on the ice, and that's who you're going to coach and work with. And for me, to watch you do that, it's been fun to see.
I appreciate that. It has not been fun to do.
Well, it's not. It's not.
Here's the thing. It's a balancing act, obviously. What we try to offer is a financial package, basically, that because our tuition, although we're not giving it away, it's about half the price of going to J. Sarah, Olu, SM, Servite, anything like that. It's about half the price. Our hockey is less than half the price of playing on, say, an 18AA team or a 16AA team that does a lot of travel. So you could look at an overall package of, just going to throw a number that's close, $12,000, $12,500, all inclusive, school and hockey, and you're $5,000 less than just going to one of those other schools before you ever even skate. So I think we have a slight advantage there. Geographically, maybe not, especially the fact we don't have a lot of ice up in our area, but we do have a lot of ice hockey players, and that number continues to grow.
Well, you better start recruiting my kid here pretty quick with numbers like that.
On the ice, Coach, we talked about the game last night. It wasn't just a league game. It was also a Caja State Championship qualifying game. This is the first time you've led the team through state championship qualifying. How does that work into the dynamic of also playing in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League?
Well, it definitely changes the strategy going into those games because, like you said, it does mean more from a standpoint of meeting our goal of getting to that state tournament. So yeah, I do have to. Curtis Fisher, my other coach, and myself, we do have to coach things a little bit differently in those games. I think some of the kids, though, I don't think some of them understand the difference between Caja. They ask the questions over and over again, and they just come to play hockey and they love it. And last night was one of those nights where you drive home with a smile on your face, compared to some other nights where maybe not so much.
Speaking of smiles on your face, I'm going to bring it over to Jordan real quickly. Dude, you were on fire last night.
Thank you.
Here's my question. I've talked to the goaltender for Santa Margarita before, and he kind of keeps himself, or sometimes doesn't have to keep himself in the game. Do you like when you're in the game all the time?
Oh yeah, I definitely like taking more shots. Helps stay focused.
It was unbelievable. You did an absolutely outstanding job. I mean, it also does it propel you as well when your team jumps out, gives you that lead right away.
Yeah, when my team's skating, it definitely gets me more in the game.
Yeah, guys, maybe you guys can talk about your daily process at school and what it's like to go to school at Damien and be a part of the hockey team, and what your daily routine is. The class schedule, and then from there, do you head right to the rink? What is your practice schedule like? And then what's it like? And what rinks are you practicing at? I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to know about that.
Like Coach Barry said, the school gives us a lot of support, and that helps us along with just our basic daily routines. And we practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays at KHS here in Anaheim.
What's the support been like on campus amongst your peers? Do they embrace the hockey program like they do all the other sports?
It's a little different, definitely, since a lot of the schools out here are usually based on football or basketball. But I think the kids at our school enjoy it. They think it's different, and they think it's something something new to watch.
And for you, Rudy, this is your senior season with Damien. What's it been like for you to go through high school and play for this hockey team?
To be able to play at Damien my 4 years at high school have been nothing but a privilege. I'm definitely honored to call myself a Spartan. These 4 years for me have been a great experience. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that Coach Barry and for Jeff Grant they've given us. Damien is a world-class institution. It's a great school, great kids, a great environment, and I think this program is only getting better as the years go by. Hopefully years down the line, after I'm gone, hopefully we'll have some more championships. We'll have more of this, more of that. But it's only getting better, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I've been given here.
There's your recruiting video right there. My goodness, that was pretty good right there. Wow.
Jeff, maybe you could just talk a little bit about how Damien, and from your perspective, you integrate the academics, the athletics, the faith-based environment that you guys are, and how that works with your sports programs.
Yeah, I would say you hit it right on the head. I think first and foremost, we're student athletes. Our kids are students first. We're extremely proud of the success that they have in the classroom and all the things that they accomplish. We're sending kids all over the country for their academics first. And then again, the spiritual, religious side of what our institution is able to do. Just being a Catholic school and being able to pray together, I think that it allows kids to grow together. But I also think being an all-male environment just kind of provides an atmosphere for guys to grow together in an environment where they can just thrive and succeed and grow. But then athletics, athletics is a very successful arm of a great kind of machine. You take out one piece, the machine doesn't work real well, but you put all the parts together, athletics, the spiritual environment, brotherhood, academics, and we try to put that package together, and we sell that package to our community of, here's all the things you're going to get if you make your kid be a part of our community and become a Damien Spartan, and we think we're pretty successful at that, and we kind of refined that and retooled that over the years. But I think athletics is certainly something that allows our kids to grow in themselves, and it creates them to be good dads and good fathers and good husbands, and we're proud of our kids. Our kids are great. We didn't coach these kids up today. They said what they said because they come from good families and they're good people, and we feel really confident that they're set up successfully to do great things as they grow up.
And that would be our recruiting video.
There you go.
Can I say something real quick going back to academics? We have a year-end banquet on campus in the event center, and we hand out a lot of awards, but we don't hand out awards like MVP or leading scorer. We do hand out leadership awards. We do hand out awards for recognizing people's hard work on and off the ice. But my favorite part of the year is handing out the awards recognizing the students, the player, student athletes that are achieving, or I would say overachieving in the classroom. Out of 35 students last year, we had 16, over 40% of them that were a 3.75 or higher.
Wow.
And we had 10 of them that were over a 4.0.
Wow.
And that percentage will grow this year. So this is, obviously the hockey program's growing. It's great to see. We're getting better on the ice, but we are very, very strong off the ice, and that is a heck of a lot more important than any banners we could ever win. That's for sure.
Excellent, excellent. Real quickly, I'm going to give it back to the two players before. What are your aspirations after school?
After school, I definitely like to play hockey in college, and that's basically my main focus right now.
Well, for me, right now, it's just hoping to get into the schools that I want to get into. I definitely want to play hockey after high school. It's something that I really want to do. But for me, my education is priority number one. And so I'm just taking it a day at a time.
What schools are you looking into?
University of Denver, Boston College,
there you go.
USC.
Very nice.
A couple more schools.
Very good, good.
We talked about awards. Coach Shear talked about awards academically. As far as on-ice awards, our show here today, we're going to be dedicated to the All-Star game. I don't know if you guys know, but you're the only team that sent 2 goalies to the varsity All-Star games. You guys are both going to be there. What's it like for you guys to be selected to the All-Star game and be able to represent your school?
Representing our school, that's something that makes us really proud, and especially me and Rudy being both goalies on the same team, and having our peers look at us and give us the support enough for us to make the All-Star game. It's definitely an honor, and just to know that we both play well enough for others to notice that how hard we work, and on the ice, off the ice. It's just such an honor.
I think Jordan said it best. I mean, it's a testament to the hard work we put in this year. Definitely to be able to even wear a Damien jersey, it's an honor. You know, to be able to represent your school at an All-Star game even more. So I'm being a senior, I'm just going to try to make the best of it, cherish the moment, and just take advantage of the opportunity. So.
Well, we know you guys have a game to get ready for here coming up at around noon time. You're going to take on the Bellarmine Bells. You're going to be able to catch that game on Black Dog Hockey later on today. But you guys have no idea who your teammates are going to be in the All-Star game, and we're going to let you know a little bit later on. You might be in the locker room getting ready, but you'll find out soon enough. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today on the program. Barry Shearer, Jeff Grant, Jordan Bacani, Rudy Hodgson from the Damien Spartans joining us here on the report card. Good luck today, and thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Good luck today.
Guys.
Thank you.
Boy, what a great group over there in the
Yeah.
Damien Spartans, huh?
That was nice. I like that.
Yeah, well, very well said by all of them. So coming up later on today, don't forget, we're going to reveal exclusively the All-Star teams for the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League All-Star games. That will be on February 7th over at Honda Center. If you can't make it out to the big house to watch the games, you'll be able to catch all the live action on Black Dog Hockey beginning at 4 p.m. with the Junior Varsity All-Star game. Guys, we got our players of the month who are getting ready to step in here in a minute. But going back to the Damien Spartans just for a moment, I think it's very nice to see the focus on the academic side of things.
Well, most definitely. I think both Jeff and Barry know that that's a key ingredient to their success as an overall program, and they instill that into their players, and it's fun to see that in Jordan and Rudy, and I'm sure the rest of the team has the same thing. And I've been fortunate to be around a few of their players in this year and in the past, and very well-adjusted individuals and bright futures for all of them.
What I like about that program is that it offers a different venue for players out in the Inland Valley. It's showing the talent that the Inland Valley actually kind of has right out there. Is that the Inland Valley or something like that? Which
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire, excuse me. Yeah, IE, excuse me. Inland Empire. I got it wrong, excuse me. But still, nonetheless, I mean, it's showing that, how the growth is going out there, and they're putting out some good players right there, and actually a really good team in Damien.
We have 4 segments on our show today, so we're going to keep things moving right along. It's a long list of things that we got to do. Our limit's usually 3.
Who put this together? The commissioner?
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. That's fine. Yeah. All right, December, we named 3 players of the month in the varsity division. 2 of them are joining us here today on the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League Facebook Live page. On the report card, sitting to our left from the J. Sarah Lions, your Division I Player of the Month, Blake Reed, and from Division III, Aiden Perez, from the Los Alamitos Griffins. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here today. Blake, we'll start with you. I'm going to come out and say it because I think it's the most obvious thing. We see it every single game you're out on the ice. You have the biggest target on your back every time you go out there on the ice.
I know.
How do you handle that, stepping onto that sheet game in and game out?
It's actually something that I kind of like. I know that they're coming after me, and that just helps me get around them easier, I guess. But it's always fun scoring big goals and being there for my teammates every game. So I love that.
Had a nice game last night in the shutout of Bellarmine. You guys this season hanging out in second place in D1. What's it been like out on the ice with the Lions this year and all the success you guys have had to hang out there at the top of the division?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Last night was one of our biggest team wins, I think, of the year. We all contributed. It's been awesome seeing us come together here, and we look forward to even more of it down the stretch.
Well, listen, I've been fortunate enough to coach both these guys, and I can tell you got 2 really quality individuals here. Blake is probably one of the most competitive athletes that I've ever been around, and I've been around a lot of high-end athletes, and Blake has that compete level in him. Aiden, on the other hand, is a pretty reserved individual who's just a consummate team player. He's always there for his teammates. He's very smart, very intelligent, has a high hockey IQ on the ice. So very fortunate to be here with both these guys. Very fun to see them, and excited to hear what they have to say.
Let's talk about Aiden Perez from the Los Alamitos Griffins. Aiden, your team also in second place at the moment. You guys, of course, drew the cards of having to chase down 2 undefeated teams, respectively. But in the meantime, you guys have been playing great this year. What do you attribute to the success on the ice with the Griffins?
I think our success has come from our team play, really. I think all around everyone's contributing as much as they can, and we're working together, and we're making sure we're moving the puck out there, and I think that really helps us get up in games early.
You guys were both named All-Stars this year, and I don't think there was a whole lot of question about it during the selection process. But what is it like for you guys to be named All-Stars? Either one of you can go ahead and jump in and answer that question.
Yeah, it's a pretty big honor, I think. You know, it's something that we get a patch on the Letterman's jacket, and every year it's really exciting. So
yeah, I think it's pretty cool. This is my first year being in the All-Star game, so I'm looking forward to trying it out. So.
And you're going to be my pick for fastest skater now in your division, so don't let me down. What do you consider, actually? This is going to be a tough one for you right here.
Yeah,
I know.
No pressure
right now. But say, he wouldn't know who his competition is yet, though, no?
No.
Oh, okay, then I'll leave it alone. I'll wait and see. You're in a different game, Earl.
I got moved to accuracy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, they're requesting things now. Did you hear that? He wants the accuracy. I hope the commission's listening. Maybe he can adjust things. Blake, 9 goals, 2 assists in your 5 games in December. You were named December Player of the Month. Your team went 3-2 over that span. How do you weave your game in with your teammates, and do you try to make it a point to make them better, or are you going out there trying to lead the way on the offensive side of things?
I think it's definitely a mix of both. You know, I like to make my line mates look as good as possible, but at the same time, they make me look pretty good too. We got a lot of power play goals through that time, and I got to say Jake Hager can slide that puck through the middle pretty easy for me, and we have that seam open, and a lot of goals come from there, and my teammates help me a lot. So
you and Hager used to play on the same line. We're on the same front line, but now what's with the transition and moving back to D?
Yeah, you know, he plays D. He definitely helps our team a lot back there. You know, he played our freshman year. I think he was on forward.
Yeah.
And
he was.
But yeah, having him on D and on the power play, us two on the one-timers, it's pretty cool to have that pass, and whoever's up top moves it pretty well. So
I think Coach Novielli uses you in a versatile way as well. In fact, last night saw you playing defense on the penalty kill, and you know, that's just a great testament to what you do as a player. But I'd like to know a little bit more, because I do know, but I'm sure some people out here would like to know as well. You know, what's your daily routine like at JSerra? What you know? I know you have a lot of other interests other than hockey, and that's probably the one thing that people don't know about you is that you have some other things in your life that are important to you.
Yeah, I'm also a lot into digital photography. I love the ocean. I love the beach, so we'll go shoot the sunsets down there with all my friends and have a great time with that. But I also have a car detailing business. I run my own business, and you know, I love things like that. So I'm more than just a hockey player. I like to well-round myself, and JSerra also helps a lot with that.
Aiden, kind of the same thing for you. You know, what other interests do you have other than hockey, and what goes on in your life?
I've been really just trying to focus on like the academics and stuff. I've been getting into coding and computer science, and that's what I'm looking to do in college, as well as hockey. So.
Okay, so Aiden can go help Christian Ilton.
It's the weekend. It's the weekend.
And Blake with the digital photography, he can help Ilton too. So
there you go.
Listen.
Oh, that's a good point. And Blake, just on a personal note, mine's the white sedan in the back over there. So if you want to go
I'll definitely have to bring you guys some flyers, and we'll make something happen here.
I love it.
Aiden, want to get your perspective. You know, you guys are D3 school. How and you've been on the team for the last four. It seems like 5 or 6. Honestly, I just want to make sure it's only been 4. But still, how are you guys received on campus?
I'd say pretty well. Over the past 4 years, it's been cool to see more people realize that we have a hockey team, you know, and get more recognition from the school. And I'm hoping after I leave that it continues to grow more and more.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time and coming down and sitting and talking with us. Congratulations on winning Players of the Month, respectively.
I'm still working on your nickname. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still, what's the one someone goes on, Jay?
Waited the whole season and still couldn't figure anything out. Also, congratulations on being selected to the All-Star Teams. You're going to find out who your teammates are going to be here in just a little bit. So congratulations on all your success.
Don't let me down, Aiden.
Yep, congrats, guys. Well deserved for both of you.
Yes,
well deserved.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Blake Reed from JSerra, Aiden Perez from Los Alamitos, your Division I and Division III Players of the Month, respectively, in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League from the month of December. And Boy, watching those two guys
That's
out on the ice,
exactly.
you want to talk about speed.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's just, leave the trail. I'm surprised the ice doesn't melt with either of these guys on the ice. But it's just great to watch them, especially watch them grow. We've seen Aiden, he's as a freshman and advance his way up, through the last 4 years, and now Blake in his third year as well. I mean, just an absolute pleasure to watch both those players.
Yeah, Aiden most definitely is a player that when he's sitting here, he's really reserved. But when you get him on the ice, he's a competitor, he's a team guy, and he's a very smart hockey player. And then Blake, listen, we've been watching him here, and like I said, I've coached him before. He gets after it. When he gets the puck on his stick, if you better get out of the way because he's going freight train right to the net.
We saw that last night. Took that pass
Well,
from
we've
Nicholas
seen it
across the middle. And
we've seen it all year.
Yeah, and his whole career, as a matter of fact. All right, we're going to move on with the show. We're going to get to the All-Star teams a little bit later on. We're going to go over our recap from the month of December. And as always, we will start in Division I with Santa Margarita. And this is our December recap show. But the games in January at this stage in the game have mattered immensely. Santa Margarita has already wrapped up Division I. They're going to be the #1 seed going into the postseason. They had wins over Edison, Bellarmine, and Orange Lutheran back in January, and they are just firing on all cylinders.
No, exactly. When you outscore teams, 23-3 in 3 games, the football score practically a football. It's a low-scoring footballs, but still, nonetheless. I mean, excuse me. Ooh, wow, did I say that?
You're
Santa
in
Margarita firing all
scoot over
cylinders.
here for when
Santa Margarita actually firing on all cylinders right there. I mean, what else can you say about the squad right now? I mean, Coach Johnson has them going, and you know what? It seems like even when they're shorthanded, they still find ways to put the puck in the net, and their defense, which that's the thing that still impresses me the most, and the most understated thing about that team is their defense. No one talks about their defense or the goaltending, and it's nothing less than stellar.
What impresses me the most about SM is their core group of players, and you're talking Logan Orsini and Kevin Peck and Ryan Parkinson and Joey Felichikia and Nick Mouthy and Jacob Makowecki and Brian Mathis and DHR, all those guys, they're the core of the team. And yeah, some players are in and out if they're playing club and stuff, but those guys are there every weekend. They're the ones in the trenches all the time, and those guys need to be recognized because, to me, that's the reason why they're doing as well as they are, because of that core group.
They are 13-0 on the year. They've got a few games left on the schedule. And boy, good luck to anybody that finds them in the same pathway, because you're going to be in trouble. Second team in Division I at this point in time, the J. Sarah Lions. And, over the past few years, this team has always been sneaky good. And, you were there. They would come out of nowhere at the end of the season. There has been nothing sneaky about this team. They've been getting it done all year long.
Well, listen, when you have leadership like Blake Reed and a Jake Hager and a Mikey Pellegrino and a Brett Rudy, and you have Jack Ferletic in the net, and then you have the senior group of Dwyer, Daphne, Fenn, those guys. It's a group that is very tight. They're tight on campus. I know that. I've been around it. I've seen it. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with down the stretch.
They've played Bellarmine 3 times in the last 7 days, and they took 2 out of those 3 against the Bells to get to the position where they are right now. Damien Spartans are hanging out right in the middle of the pack. They got that big win yesterday over Orange Lutheran. They also had a win over Edison back in January, and the Spartans starting to make some noise here.
I'll tell you what,
last month of the season.
Typical Barry Shear coach team. That's, as I mentioned before, it's how you finish the race, not how you start, and it's exactly how he's building. He's building this team, as Coach Berkey would know, for playoff time right there, and that's what it counts. And especially last night. I mean, don't forget that this is a team that lost 6-1 to Orange Lutheran at the beginning of the season, and to see them turn it around like they have last night, they completely dominated that game. Orange Lutheran, it was 3-0 or 2-0 before even Orange Lutheran turned their heads. It was unbelievable, and they, I like the way this team responds. They don't get rattled, and I've even seen that when they play Santa Margarita. This team is going to be interesting to watch, and the whole thing is, on top of this, guys, they're really, really young as well.
Yeah.
One of the keys to their success is the goaltending tandem that they have, and of course Jordan Bacani's been getting the lion's share of the work in the between the pipes, but they have a good ingredient to doing things down the stretch as well, and they're going to have to be reckoned with as well, and some teams are going to have to keep an eye on them.
Moving down the list, the Bellarmine Bells come in 4th place currently in Division I. They had the win over Orange Lutheran back in January. They beat J. Sarah. And then lost to the Lions the next
Still
night.
is January.
Oh yeah. In January. I said back in January. Still is January. But
it feels like
feels-
we're
Exactly, I
pushing
know.
way ahead, doesn't it?
right.
I know, I'm waiting for the 4th of July. Where's the fireworks dance? I mean, come on.
Almost down to the last month of the season. But the Bells right now in 4th place.
No, yeah, actually, it's typical David guy, coach squad, all defense, basically, you know, and goaltending. However, you know what I like about this team this year, and I think I mentioned it before, they have a little bit more frequency of putting the puck in the net this time, and it's just going to be interesting to see how they come through. This is a hard-working squad. At the first drop of the puck to the final buzzer, this team will always give 100%. And you know what? When it comes to playoff time, that's one team, a team like that you don't want to play.
Bellarmine teams are always hard working. They're going to come at you. They're going to give an honest effort every night. I think the one thing that, like last night, maybe they didn't get the output and the effort that they wanted. But we got to remember, they're coming down here for 3 games. They're traveling down here. They were in school and they came down. And I mean, there's a lot to having them in this league, and that's definitely got to be recognized.
See the Bells later on today on Black Dog Hockey at noon when they take on the Damien Spartans. And then we're going to see them again tomorrow at 11 a.m. when they take on Edison to wrap up their weekend here in Southern California. Down near the bottom of Division One, this is a weird thing to say, but Orange Lutheran is down there in 5th place at present time. They did get a win over J. Sarah back in December, and then earlier this month they were able to knock off Edison. You're now seeing that this Division One race, while it may be a one-horse race at the top in Santa Margarita, the rest is all just jumbled together.
Well, yeah, it's going to be some jockeying for position right there, and I think last night might have been a wake-up call for Oulu. Who'd they beat? They beat somebody. Did they beat J. Sarah last week? Was it or Edison last week? Yeah, they had a tough, hard-fought win against Edison last week, but then they come back right there, and you know what? Damien hands it to him. But I don't count this team out. I mean, you have a Jacob Furry-led squad, and never count them out, especially with the goaltending as well.
It's going to be interesting who finishes in that number 4 and number 5 seed, because the way that scheduling is moving, it looks like that game's going to be on the Olympic sheet.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more ice to be played there. Edison and Tahoe wrap up Division One, so that's a recap for Division One there after the month of December. So we move on to Division Two, very top-heavy division. We always talk about it. St. John Bosco, Capistrano United, La Jolla Country Day are the top 3 in Division Two, and they've all knocked each other off at one point or another in the season.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth, and I've had the fortunate opportunity to talk to Coach LeBay several times, and he calls and he says, I don't know what to do. Who do we play? Where do we go? And the point is that any night any of those teams can take down the other team. So an exciting finish is going to be had with Division Two for sure.
And the rest of Division Two are all the schools down in San Diego, of course, North County, Central Cathedral, Poway, and Pacific Ridge, and then Las Vegas comes in at the bottom of Division Two. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Joseph Tirana, who is the Varsity Division II Player of the Month in December. Obviously, a little tough to get out here to come join us on the show, but we want to congratulate him.
Well, we saw enough of him in Vegas in December.
I'm sure the other Orange County or the other teams here in Southern California saw enough of him too. Honestly, he was just an absolute beast when it came to that tournament.
He's got a deft touch of the puck, and he's got a good shot, and he gets after it. He's in on the forecheck a lot. He's solid in the defensive zone, high hockey IQ. Very exciting and fun player to watch.
Joseph Tirana, the Division II Player of the Month, the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League for December. Moving on to Division III, we go to the Coast View Conference. It all starts with the Beckman Patriots. Nobody's been able to touch them this season.
No, exactly. As well, as we mentioned, this is the team that Commissioner Matt Blanchard likes to watch. You always see him at their games, and you can tell that he's been impressed by that squad. However, when you have 9-2 victories over Huntington Beach, 11-4 over Placentia Linda, and 10-3, I mean, they're averaging 10 goals a game right now. That's absolutely unprecedented, especially in hockey right here. It's at the high school level, and they're just blown by teams right there. We saw, A Square on Wednesday night, as well as I'm trying to think. Who's the other kid?
Hayden Maxwell.
Hayden Maxwell as well. They got some love from the Ducks, and they were on the intermission report with the Ducks Live right there. So congratulations to them. Yeah, that's school. That's gonna be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, they really are. The second place team in the Coast View Conference. Talked to Aiden Perez a little bit earlier, the Los Alamitos Griffins, who had a big win over Placentia Yorba Linda 9-2 back in December. And then they lost a game earlier this month to Upland Christian Academy, but the Griffins, they've just been rolling right along. Woodbridge comes in at third place currently. And I tell you what, the Warriors all of a sudden making some noise here in the back half of the season. The last 4 teams in the standings in the Coast View Conference: Huntington Beach, Mater Dei, Santa Margarita, and Servite. We will see the Friars later on today at 2 p.m. They'll be taking on Los Alamitos. Catch that game on Black Dog Hockey. And our last conference to look at is the Crescent Conference in Division III. Bishop Amat, who's going out, and one of the teams taking the ice right now, but they're up at the top. They beat Servite 11-2 earlier this month. They had Corona Norco and knocked them off on their senior night last week. The Lancers getting it done on all cylinders. They got a bunch of All-Stars.
Well, I haven't seen a whole lot of these games. You guys have seen a lot of them. I hear from you guys, and you talk about them, and obviously the races in both divisions are very exciting in different ways. But it's gonna be fun to watch. Playoffs are right around the corner. We have just a few weeks, and most teams are at 3, 4, 5, 6 games left in their seasons. So every game is really starting to get important in all the divisions.
Villa Park and Corona Norco come in at second and third in the Crescent Conference. Upland Christian Academy, Las Vegas, and Placentia Yorba Linda round out the Crescent Conference at present time. So that's what happened in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League over the month of December. Just want to remind everybody, coming up here on Black Dog Hockey later on today at noon, Bellarmine takes on Damien. At 2 p.m., Servite takes on Los Alamitos. And then at 4 o'clock tonight, J. Sarah, Santa Margarita. It's senior night for the Eagles. That ought to be a fun one. And then tomorrow at 11 a.m., Bellarmine and Edison. Gentlemen, the moment has arrived.
A lot of people waiting for this.
We have been waiting for this for months on end. It's finally here.
We needed dramatic music right here. I'm using the presidential, but that's when Perky walks in. We got to figure out some.
We know who's in the All-Star game. None of the players know who their teammates are going to be, but we're going to let them know right now. We also have the skills competitions that every player will partake in. Obviously, the one thing we can say up top is all the goaltenders are going to be in the goalie relay at the intermission of one of the periods. So that one we've been doing the last couple of years. That's always a fun event. But let's not waste any more time, shall we? We are going to start off with the junior varsity game. We're going to unveil the team names and the jersey colors as well. This game will be at 4 o'clock on February 7th over at Honda Center. You can catch it on Black Dog Hockey if you cannot make it out to the big house. See if you can figure out where we got the names from. Don't you guys say it. We're not going to say it throughout the whole show.
I still don't know.
We're going to see if everyone at home can figure out what these team names are named after. We start with Team Americans. They're going to be wearing the white jerseys. And you take a look at the forwards right there. You start with Sam Mudd from J. Sarah, Joseph Cianfrani from Newport Mesa, Luke Gantus, Ben Kurth, Nicholas Carpino, Trevor Evans, Stephen Patterson, Will Fighter, Ryan Pugh, and Jack Cadju from Pacific Ridge. Those are the forwards for Team Americans. This is the first team up in the Junior Varsity All-Star Game, and you'll see the denotation next to each player's name. You'll see the little FS in parentheses. That means they are going to be in the fastest skater competition. Everyone else who doesn't have a denotation will be in the accuracy shooting competition. You got to break those targets. So that's the forwards for Team Americans. We move on to the defensemen for the team. We will start with James Partner from Long Beach Prep, Jacob Annunziato from Upland Christian Academy, Gregory Litvak from Central Cathedral, Alexander Catano from Orange Lutheran, Garrett Fernandez from Bishop Amat, and Seth Neese from the Woodbridge Warriors. And that'll make up the skaters for Team Americans. Again, they'll be wearing the white jerseys for the JV game. The goaltenders for Team Americans, Grant Reardon from Upland Christian Academy, Aaron Parsons from Newport Mesa, and Matt Burbage from San Diego Union. They will be coached by Nick Silver from Capistrano United and Steve Silver from Woodbridge. So they're going to lead Team Americans, and that's a pretty good lineup. Obviously, we don't see too much of the JV players, but there are a couple of names in there that we've seen play up at the varsity level for some games this year. You can mention guys like Jacob Annunziato and Alexander Catano who have got some varsity time.
And Gantos too, right?
Even Sam Mudd for J. Sarah has gotten some varsity time.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Team Americans for the JV game. Who they're going to take on? How about Team Pirates, who will be wearing the orange jerseys? You look at the forwards there, Brandon Boudreau from Villa Park. Travis Ball, Upland Christian Academy. Luke Monaco.
We saw him last
night over at Lakewood. Yeah,
likes to dish out the dimes.
Rusty Grandolph from Villa Park. Tommy Taza-Georgios from Beckman. Owen Augustine, we've seen him get some varsity time with Orange Lutheran. Eamon Connaughton from La Jolla Country Day. Tyler Mazzella from Pacific Ridge. John Ebert from Long Beach Prep. And Matthew Brown from Palm Springs United. So there's the lineup for the forwards for Team Pirates. Again, they're going to wear the orange jerseys at Honda Center. The defensemen for Team Pirates, we got Joe Atanasio from St. John Bosco. Aiden Barberi from Carnegie Schools in Riverside. Ben Lamaka from Woodbridge. Thomas Gallegos from Beckman. Nicholas Kiatos from Edison, and Ryan Armstrong from Long Beach Prep. Those are the skaters for Team Pirates wearing the orange jerseys. And then we move on to the goaltenders, Kavanaugh Hughes, Leela Neese, and Lindsay Labady. This will be the first All-Star team to have 2 female goaltenders on the team. They are both very deserving. We got to see them both get a little bit of time when we were out in Vegas.
Yep.
But again, lots of varsity experience here on this team as well.
No, exactly, and it's going to be very interesting. I mean, you got the varsity team, kind of, varsity experience coupled with, the other shooters and defensemen. It's going to be very interesting to see how this team goes, really. And we all look forward to it because this is the future of the varsity league as well. So it's always a fun time.
Took the words out of my mouth, Chuck.
Always a fun time.
It's fun for me to watch this too because you're going to see players that are going to be 1 year, 2 years from playing varsity hockey.
And the coaches for that Team Pirates will be the all road warriors, having to drive all the way up here to Anaheim. Steve Lee from Palm Springs and Ben Frank from Carnegie Schools. Of course, Carnegie, the new team to the league this year. So congratulations on those 2 gentlemen to be able to coach Team Pirates in the Junior Varsity All-Star Game at 4 o'clock over at Honda Center. If you can't make it, watch it on Black Dog Hockey. We move on to the varsity guys. We have a little bit more experience with these teams.
Yes.
This is going to get good.
This is going to get real good real fast.
I'm seeing these names jump out at me. I'm like, woo, woo.
We start with Team Arenas. They're going to be wearing the white jerseys over at Honda Center. Look at the forwards there. David Wynn. Andrew Urch, who was the winner of the Twitter vote, got selected to the All-Star Game. Corey Mater from
former player of the month.
Yep. Yuri Yakala from Central Cathedral. Wesley Coonan from Bishop Amat. Patrick Gardner from Beckman. Nicholas Patel from Damien. Joey Filichikia from Santa Margarita. He was named to the All-Star Game. He was a first alternate. He is replacing John Gardner from Beckman, who's out due to injury. Brent Buckland from Woodbridge. Blake Reed, I've heard that name somewhere before. Cole Rorick from North County. Zach Lane from Capistrano United. And Tyler Badami from Santa Margarita. Oh, my goodness, those forwards.
This is when it gets fun in an environment like this, is when you put a bunch of players like this that are top players or really contributing to their teams, and they come in an environment like this and they showcase themselves and they showcase the other players. It starts to get really fun.
We move on to the defensemen for Team Arenas again in the white jerseys at the All-Star Game. This is the varsity All-Star Game. Dylan Hoagland from Capistrano United, Kyle Plouffe from Pacific Ridge, Ryan Parkinson from Santa Margarita, Kimber Cruz from Servite. You see Brett Rudy listed there from Jay Serra, probably not going to be there due to injury, but all those gentlemen named to the game as defensemen. And good luck to anybody trying to get by that. I know it's an all-star game.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys aren't going there just to mess around. They play hard.
No, exactly. Not only do I like the way they defend, but you have a couple puck-moving defensemen in there as well. So always going to be interesting. I like watching the D-men jump up in on the forecheck as well. So looking forward to this.
And you haven't even said the goalies yet.
No. And those are the 3 people that we have to wish good luck to because this is an all-star game after all. The Team Arenas goaltenders, Jordan Eisenman from Orange Lutheran, Garrett Kennedy from Capistrano United, and Justin Lakin from Corona Norco. 2 of those 3 won Player of the Month so far this season. So there's Team Arenas. They'll be wearing the white jerseys in the varsity game. That one's going to be something else. Let's move on to the team they're going to take on wearing the orange jerseys. It'll be Team Bulldogs. We start with the forwards, Jalen Cordura, first star of the game last night over in Lakewood. Justin Kaufman from La Jolla Country Day. Brendan Williams, one of the fabulous freshmen for Santa Margarita. Blake Selden from Tahoe Hockey Academy. Mason Cook and Matt Russell, both from Poway. La Jolla Country Day sends Brady Zagras and Las Vegas United. Hunter Bartow and Joseph Tarana.
How'd those two get on this team? How'd those two get on the same team?
We'll see if they put them on the same line. I'm going to guess the odds are pretty good.
I'm going to have to talk with whoever the coaches are.
William Baird from Los Alamitos. Angel Puentes from Placentia Yorba Linda. And Thomas Stift from Orange Lutheran. First thing that jumps out to me that are on that list is Angel Puentes and Corey Mater are on opposite teams.
I noticed that too, so that's going to be kind of interesting. Watch him. I like to see him drop the gloves just for it'd be kind of cool watching him drop the gloves.
Well, a lot more firepower there on Team Bulldogs. We move to the defensemen for Team Bulldogs again in the orange jerseys over at Honda Center on February 7th in the Varsity All-Star Game at 6 p.m. Jet Hunter from Capistrano United, Aiden McDonald from Damien. Jacob Hager, again, probably out due to injury, but another JSerra defenseman in the game. Ryan McDermott from Mater Dei, Jake Trujillo from Woodbridge, Ryan Johnson from Santa Margarita. I got to say, Jake Trujillo showed us something when we were out in Vegas.
No,
but
exactly.
Again, another
Absolutely.
great defenseman core.
That's too bad. We're probably not going to see how Jake Hager would defend Blake Reed either, so it would have been an interesting matchup to see. So
when we went to the senior game, varsity game concept, this just really allowed a lot of our young players to get into this environment and showcase the level of play that we have in our league. And you look at a list like this and the top players that are on this list in the Varsity All-Star Game, and this is going to be a game I think a lot of people should come out and watch because there's just a lot of talent here.
Yeah, a ton of talent, absolute ton of talent.
And again, we haven't even mentioned the goaltenders yet, so let's take a look at the goalies for Team Bulldogs. Christopher Cantillo from Bishop Amat, Jordan Bacani from Damien, and Jack Carter from La Jolla Country
That's
Day.
going to be a tough. You know what? All of a sudden, watching Bacani last night and then watching Jack Carter, what he did to basically stone, not Bishop Amat, St. John Bosco last week. It'd be very interesting to see.
Christopher Cantillo, don't overlook him. He's a big boy. He covers a lot of that net, and he's got the job done for Bishop Amat this season. It leaves us with one more game,
the big boys.
Senior game. The last time these guys can get all together as seniors and just go out there and have some fun. We will start with Team Wanderers wearing the white jerseys over at Honda Center. The senior game is at 8 p.m. And again, you can catch it on Black Dog Hockey if you can't make it to the arena. Start with the forwards as always. Justin Camba from Villa Park, Jacob Furry from Orange Lutheran. There's the name you're looking for. Aiden Perez, the reigning D3 player of the month from Los Al. Isaiah Granette from Pacific Ridge. Nick Malley from Santa Margarita. Jared Code from Villa Park. Joey Holman from Capistrano United. Seth Davis from Damien. Patrick Vors from Las Vegas. Ryan Osterkamp from Edison. Michael Pellegrino from JSerra.
Were these picked or
Domenico
what's going on?
Cianflone from Central Cathedral. And 1D notation. Mike Yoakum from Las Vegas was selected this game. Of course, he had surgery on his knee. He will not be able to participate. I hear rumors that he may be in the building for the game, but he will not play. But, oh, my goodness.
2 questions. How do the goaltenders feel on the other side of this, watching this front line? And B, will there be enough pucks on the ice to handle all that as well?
Are we going to put Jacob Furry and Seth Davis on the same line?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, my goodness. Woo. Hate to be the back line and the last line of defense for that line. Woo.
Let's move on to the defensemen before our heads start to spin.
Exactly.
Kevin Beck from Santa Margarita, Stanislav Struthers from St. John Bosco, Jonathan Montero from St. John Bosco, Callum McCrae from La Jolla Country Day, Jake Bivens from Damien, and Alex Altman from Beckman. Nice defensive core there for Team
stacked.
Wanderers.
Wow, my goodness, all the up and down, blue line and the front line, absolutely incredible.
Let's move on to the goaltenders again. 3 guys here who've just done wonders for their teams this season. Jacob Paul from Las Vegas United, Jacob Ogon from North County, and Rudy Hodgson, who had just joined us here on the report card from Damien, will be the goaltenders for Team Wanderers. They'll be wearing the white jerseys at Honda Center on February 7th. David Walker from Edison, Zealand Kronk from Beckman are the coaches for Team Wanderers.
Talk about an easy job on that one. Woo, my gosh,
fun on the 7th. My goodness.
Well, take a look at the other list.
I was going to say, that's just one of the 2 teams in the senior game. Let's move over to Team Maroons, who will be wearing the orange jerseys at Honda Center. Hayden Maxwell, Chuck mentioned it, saw him do the spot on Fox the other night, along with his teammate Alex Altman, who will not be his teammate in the All-Star game.
Interesting matchup.
Cole McGowan from Bellarmine, Levi Solani from Santa Margarita, Ben Snyder and Tommy Ferrier going from Capistrano United. They'll be teammates. Aiden Dinning from Pacific Ridge, Logan Orsini from Santa Margarita, Keanu Manula from Los Alamitos, Evan Stapleton from Huntington Beach, Parker Breakbill from Orange Lutheran, Jake Bellin from Central Cathedral, and Nick Abernathy from Upland Christian Academy. That is a big lineup.
Yeah, so you want to talk about,
you've got the speed and finesse on one side,
and then you got the bruisers,
bruisers on the other team.
Wow, that's going to be
you got
interesting.
some guys get after McGowan and Orsini and Breakbill.
Keep Solani right out of that middle of that slot right there, too.
Levy.
Don't overlook Stapleton
Maxwell.
and Abernathy. Those are two big dudes who are going to
Did
be
you-
up there in the
And
fourth.
Manula.
Perky,
And
I
Manula.
was just going to
And
say, we
Manula.
forgot completely about Keanu Manula,
Ben
too.
Snyder, Capistrano. Oh, my goodness.
There's going to be a lot. The goaltenders are going to be pestered a lot already.
It's very clear there was no weigh-in before they
no,
selected
exactly.
his team.
No,
I see Snyder and Ferry will be going against Joey Holman.
Yeah, a couple of Coyotes that will be up against each other. Let's move on to the defensemen now. For Team Maroons, Tristan Peterson from Los Alamitos, Daniel Johnson from Edison, Jacob McAwecki from Santa Margarita, Stephen Brown from North County, Brendan Carey from Bellarmine, and Ryan Fisher from Orange Lutheran.
Well, a good puck-moving defenseman. Saw Fisher last night. Great, good anchor for the D right there. So it'll be interesting to watch these D as well. It's going to be. We've seen Peterson before. Spent some time watching Johnson as well. It's going to be very, and of course McAwecki.
McAwecki, big, strong defenseman,
exactly.
good shot, just sturdy.
And let's not forget Brown and Carey. Carey, we'll see at Bellarmine again today. So it's going to be very interesting as this game goes. Man, that's going to be a fun game to watch.
This was supposed to be fun for them. This is going to turn into a
I know,
workmanlike
my
situation
gosh.
right out of the gate.
Vegas just called over-unders 24.5.
Well, speaking of over-unders, let's look at the goaltenders. We're going to try to lower that one a little bit. Josh Marin from Huntington Beach, Trey Taylor from Santa Margarita, Valentino Colella from La Jolla Country Day are the goaltenders for Team Maroons.
All strong goaltenders there.
Oh,
my goodness.
I can do nothing but shake my head at all
Exactly.
of this.
Exactly.
I
Well,
mean,
this
one
is
thing we
exactly
know
what
is-
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. No, yeah,
So,
that's the way we want it. But we're going to need a neck brace by the end of the first half of the first period, watching the two teams just do this for the 17 minutes.
Track meets.
David Guy from Bellarmine and Joe Adams from Orange Lutheran are the coaches for Team Maroons. So we got a nice coaching matchup there as well. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts? If you want to pick a team and go over what you think is going to be the standout performance, you got any predictions for fastest skater, for accuracy shooting?
I already gave you my prediction. I
You
already gave you my prediction for fastest skater. Yeah, that's Aiden Perez. But watch him in the varsity game. Is it varsity game?
Senior game.
My money's
Senior
on
game, senior
Justin Kamba, fastest skater.
I
That's a good-
agree. Didn't he win it last year? Did he win it last year?
He might
I thought he was the one who won it last year. I could be wrong.
Like
on
I
that.
said,
He
Aiden,
can
no pressure,
absolutely
bud.
motor.
No pressure.
Oh, yeah,
I
he
got
can.
you, bud.
Not taking anything away from Aiden, but
And I don't know about that varsity game with the fastest skater and all that. But there are some.
Three demons.
Yes, there are.
All-
Yeah, all the wind blowing around over here. Of course, that would happen.
Perfect timing.
well, I really like the varsity team arenas. That's a nice team with David Nguyen, Urch, Mater, Gardner, Reed, Lane, Badami, Hoagland, Plouffe, Ryan Parkinson, John Gardner, he's injured, and Rudy's injured. But yeah, and then you got Eisenman and Kennedy in net.
It'll be interesting
That's
to
a
watch
team.
Badami against Williams too on that forward matchup right there. I wonder
And
if
then-
they both of them actually have the
And
wherewithal
then you look
possibly
on,
to
then you
drop
look
the
on,
gloves
then
there
you look
too.
on the other side, Cordura and Bardo, Tirana, Puente, Stiff. You know, if Hager gets back, Ryan Johnson. I mean,
Exactly.
come on, Ryan.
No, yeah, exactly.
Let's face it, Ryan Johnson played in the Five Nations tournament before the season started.
A lot of talent.
know?
And it shows. It's great because we're going to get to see these guys more on next year as well. At least for next year, if not for plenty more years as well. So this is
And then in
a
net,
great
on
representative.
net on the Bulldogs is Cantillo, Bacani, and Carter.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Good things looking forward. You're looking forward to good years coming up as well then.
And don't forget, the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League All-Star Games on February 7th over at Honda Center. Junior varsity game is at 4. Varsity game is at 6. Senior game is at 8. We will have live coverage for you on Black Dog Hockey. The three of us are going to be there. If you're going to go to the game and watch it live and in person, you don't got to pay nothing
No.
to get into the building. It's all
Not
free.
even parking.
Come on
right?
down.
No parking.
Nope, parking is
free
free.
as well. Yeah.
Admission is free. Get out of work early.
We're there for
Make
the
some-
marathon.
Exactly.
And it's not a marathon. We enjoy this. Honestly, we'll have a great time doing this.
Get out of work early, come to Honda Center, go watch the kids on the ice, because this is going to be insane. This might be the most stacked All-Star day we're ever going to have.
Exactly. It's got to be tough to beat. Honestly, I can't think of something like this. You know, just the names that jut out and putting on the teams that they did too. This is going to be very, very, very fun to watch.
And the event just keeps getting better every year.
Yeah.
You know, as the years progress and you know, we learn the ins and outs and the tricks and the trades, but the Ducks have done just a fantastic job of allowing us to have an all-star game like this. This is a real treat to be a part of.
You guys want to make some predictions? You want to pick a team in each game? Who's going to win?
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to.
Yep.
No, I'm not doing
Yep,
that.
I'm on it.
Go ahead. I'll let
Ready?
Perky,
All right,
I'll let
let's
Perky
go,
handle it.
Iceman. It's all you.
Senior game, Wanderers.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to write this down later. I'm
Yep,
going to hold
do
you
it.
to it later.
Yep, varsity game, Arenas. And then JV game. Take a little quick look here. I'm going to go with Team Americans.
It's a brave man over there, let me tell you.
I don't need to write it down. He took all the teams that are going to be wearing white jerseys. So that's going to be easy to remember. Commission's over here asked me about jersey design. When it's coming out? Or are we going to talk about it? Oh, talk about what they were modeled after, I think is what he wants. We tried to get we tried to get a prototype jersey in here today.
I had my modeling shoes on, too.
There's a lot of moving parts to all this. They didn't quite get here on time. But what we can tell you, if you want to Google it or do whatever you need to do, search it on the internet and see kind of what the template's going to be like. So we know one team's wearing white, one team is wearing orange. If you go look up the 2004 NHL All-Star Game jerseys, that's what it's going to be based off of. I believe that game was held in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the templates that have been used
They're
for
awesome
these jerseys.
looking.
Oh, aren't they fantastic?
Yeah.
Minnesota gets an All-Star game within 2 years. We've been here 25, still haven't had an All-Star game here. Anyway, just saying. I'm talking about just.
Well, it's funny because it's the first time Chuck's ever had a grudge against anything
No,
having
never,
to do with
never,
anything
never, exactly,
in this
exactly.
league or in the NHL. So.
Exactly.
Not Chuck.
Not him.
I don't have a grudge in this league. Just in the NHL.
Give us our due, right, Chuck?
Exactly.
We've got 3 games coming up for you today on Black Dog Hockey. You can click on over. At noon, Bellarmine is taking on Damien, and then at 2 o'clock, Servite and Los Alamitos, and then at 4 p.m., J. Sarah Santa Margarita. At Division I, the Eagles are having their senior night tonight. J. Sarah had theirs last night before their win over Bellarmine, and then tomorrow morning at 11, Bellarmine and Edison here live on the network. We'll be there to cover it for you. This was a lot of fun, guys.
It was great. It was
Number
great.
6 in the books.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
They keep getting better and better.
They keep getting better.
We have one, possibly 2 more. Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. I like the second one.
The next one will come up next month. We'll feature our final varsity Division I team. The J. Sarah Lions are going to stop by and talk with us a little bit about their program and their season so far. So that'll be coming up in February. Stick around for that. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. Make sure you like it, you follow it. If you have any
live it,
comments,
love it, learn it.
Comments, questions, concerns about our show for next time. Mostly concerns,
yeah.
I'd imagine.
Leave us 3 out of it, please.
Oh, February 10th is the J. Sarah report card. So go ahead and put that in your.
We'll recap the All-Star game there too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be 3 days after the All-Star game. That week, by the way.
That could be a long one too.
That's gonna be a fun week. Woo.
That week is going to be absolutely insane because we've got
exactly
high school hockey night down in San Diego on the 6th. We've got All-Star games on the 7th. We've got parent meetings on the 8th for a new team coming into the league. On the 9th and 10th, we go back to league play, but we also have Team California tryouts those nights. Oh, my goodness. This is the time of the year that I just saw Matt Blanchard cringe a little bit sitting on the chair.
Does the California overtime law apply to us?
Basically, we'll have 2 weeks after that, and playoffs will start.
Yeah.
So it's just all going to snowball, Commish. Sorry.
I think the playoffs begin February 26th or 27th. I believe the 27th. February 27th are when the playoffs start, and then we go every day for about 15 days.
Exactly.
Then we get it done.
No, you bring your sleep bag. Yeah, no problem.
Our regular
shower,
do
the bathroom showers and stuff like that. Perfect.
No, I'm like, yeah. How can I make this work?
Scheduling is fun. Want to give a special shout out. Thank you to the Damien Spartans for stopping by today. Barry Shearer,
they
the
did a great
director,
job.
Jeff Grant came by. Rudy Hodgson, Jordan McConney, their goaltenders. Thank you for their time. Our players of the month: Blake Reed from J. Sarah, Aiden Perez from Los Alamitos. Want to, of course, give a big shout out to the commissioner Matt Blanchard for helping us set everything up here today. Our director of operations in the league, Austin Mader. He's the one who puts all the other stuff, sets up all the logistics.
Exactly.
To make sure it works. Yeah. So big thank you to him.
Exactly.
Obviously, Christian Hilton, who without him, we're not on the air at all. You don't get to see this. It's all him getting this out over the internet.
Take a bow, Christian. Oh, too late.
Yeah,
okay.
we want to thank him for his time as well, and he helps us out at Black Dog Hockey. Boys, this was fun. We got games to go call here in a little bit, and we'll be looking forward to the All-Star game on February 7th.
Oh, definitely. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Final thoughts. on the month of December or the All-Star games. Either way.
Well, listen, I mean, there's just a lot of great hockey coming up, and I think it's very exciting. And just want to let the fans know that there's, get out, see some games. There's some really good hockey. We have some very good hockey players in our league right now, and the games are going to get very exciting. There's playoff. Playoffs on the line when it comes to standings, and we have state tournament stuff coming around the corner, so teams are competing for that as well, both on the pure and non-pure side, and we may talk a little bit about that here a little bit later in the month, maybe in the next report card, but exciting times for all the teams and lots of good hockey to watch moving forward.
It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun for the Iceman, Mike Perkins, the Laser, Chuck Lasik. I'm Eric Pesolano. I don't have a nickname. We will see you next time on the report card in the middle of February. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the report card on the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League Facebook Live page. We will see you next time, everybody. Get out. Go to the All-Star game. We'll see you on February 7th. Bye-bye.